Okay, in this video, I'm going to try and prepare you a little, not a huge amount because there's a lot to number sense. But trying to prepare you for your number sense contest so that you can make the most of your opportunity to compete. So first of all, I did share a link. This is the 2023-24 packet freely available from UIL. And I have a link to their website. When you click on it, you will notice it does have an elementary contest on it. And that's fine. In fact, it's a good idea for students to warm up on a lower level contest, so like an elementary contest, if you're doing a middle school contest. But basically, all the contests have the same idea, regardless of grade level. So what you're doing is you are doing mental math. Now, the contest we're going to take is going to look a little different. It's going to be stapled, and you're actually going to start on the back, but we'll have our proctors clear that up for you. But generally, the contests kind of look like this. This tends to be tri-folded, so you can only see this top section without seeing the problems below it. Your proctor reads to you the directions. They tell you ready, set, go, and you have 10 minutes to do 80 problems. Now, honestly, the odds of you getting back here are very low unless you've been working super hard and you've gotten super good at number sense. A lot of our students, when they first start doing these, may only be working in the first column, and that's fine. So you could actually, let's say you did all the way up to 18, all right? Well, the way the scoring works is you get 5 points for each problem you get correct, and we subtract 4 points for every problem you missed. In fact, let me double check that for the middle school. Yes, 5 points for each problem you get correct, 4 for skipped or missed. So your 10 minutes, 80 problems. The ink is optional, but strongly recommended that you use a blue pen. In fact, I will have some blue pens available. Solve as many problems as you can in the order they appear. Problems that are skipped are considered wrong. Problems that appear after the last attempted problem. So you don't have to worry that they're 80 and you only get to problem 15. We ignore everything after what you do. So all problems are also to be solved mentally. So there's no scratch work. You cannot change your answers. You don't try to take a 3 and turn it into an 8, for example, because usually we can see the little marks. And so it's kind of fun to grade. And by that, I'm being a little sarcastic. It can be a little challenging to grade because sometimes we're looking at your handwriting and like, did they write a 4 or a 9? So hint, you don't have to have beautiful handwriting. We just need to be able to tell the difference between, say, a 4 and a 9, all right? Only the answer may be written in the answer blank. Now, I'll get to the starred problems here in a little bit, but we only need an approximate answer. So these are estimation problems, and you only have to be within 5%. So again, 5 points per problem you attempt, 4 points per problem you skip or miss, and it is very normal the first time you take this contest to get a negative score. So if you do a practice contest and you're like, what? I got a negative? Welcome to number sense. Most of us start on the path with a negative score. Oh, and then here's something that is particular for our contest this weekend. We're using TMSCA. You can see there's a date. And they write middle school contests. And so because they have the stapled sheet instead of the other, you're going to just take the contest, and when we tell you, flip it over. Don't turn the page. Flip the contest over so you're on problem 1. Now, for the standard UIL contest, like what you'll see at district, they're already only 1 page. You're going to unfold the sheet. And when you unfold it, the fold is typically like right here. Then you will see the problems and get started. So for example, let's say you're doing 413 plus 51. Here, let me open this with Cami to make my life easier. Here we go. So if you're doing, well, let me go back to the middle school. Oh, by the way, there is a key in each of these. Notice there are 2 answers or 47. Interesting. All right. Oh, there is a weirdness on number sense. I am not a fan myself, but if you put a 0 in front of a decimal, it's considered not the most efficient form, and it's counted wrong. So that's just a weird thing that's particular to number sense. So let's get back to this contest. So we have 413 plus 51. Ideally, when you're doing these in your head, you would probably be adding the 3 and the 1 first. You'd say 4, and then you would write in front of it 1 plus 5 is 6, and then there's nothing else, and you'd write 464, right? Then you go, okay, 516 and 80, right? 88 minus 49. Personally, the way I do this is, oh, that's like 88 minus 50, but I have to subtract an extra one. Or it's more like 87. I'm sorry, 89 minus 50. So I would attempt to say, oh, that's 39. And you can double check. The 9 and the 9 here add up to 8, so that's pretty good. 111 divided by 3. By the way, you know that's divisible by 3 because the digits add up to 3. So there are a bunch of fun things. Oh, let me show you this fraction. So you would write a fraction. I'm going to kind of write, actually, I'll use my equation tool. Where's my equation tool? There you are. So if you're going to write a fraction, so 11/16 minus 1/4, hopefully you know 1/4 is 4/16, so you would write 7/16. Now, if this could be simplified, let's pretend your answer was 8/16. Then you would have to write 1/2, right? And so a simplified fraction would be better. Now see this? 12 divided by 0.4. We should allow the leading 0. I'm just saying, but it's not the rule, so I can't, all right? So you would take this 12 and divide it by, and personally I would change that to 4/10, which is 2/5. So 12 times 5/2 is 30. So you get the idea. You should know your squares. At the middle school level, I'm not quite sure. Well, it looks like you should know up to 31, maybe. Or maybe they expect you to just kind of figure this out. Because, wait, yeah, maybe they're supposed to factor out a 31 and then multiply it. I don't know. So anyways, you just keep working through these, right? You'll get one which is larger, 5/11 or 6/13. So you would give me the larger choice. So your best bet when you're doing these problems is try them. Don't try to rush as you're working through them. Use the answer key, all right? So 464, 80, 39. Hey, I have the right answers. That's always nice, right? And then here's problem 5. See, oh, problem 5, you see this? So they allowed you, I don't know why you do it, if you wanted to spend the extra time to convert 7/16 to 0.4375, then yes, you may do so. Not recommended, because these is it this or that problems, just give them the one that's easier. So see here, right? Oh, no, that one's fine. This one, I presume they would not have you convert to a decimal. First of all, they're repeating numbers, so they wouldn't really work so well. By the way, there's some really cool things to notice in these problems. Number sense is so much fun. So you can, when you're doing these problems, there's some you can do in your head. So like 15 35s, and I have 5 35s. Oh, that means I have 20 35s. Well, 2 times 35 is 70, but I have 20 of them, so it's 10 times bigger. So there are a lot of cool things to do right here. There are 2 ways to do this. You probably want to do this one that they call it the bump it trick. So there are a lot of really cool, fun, actually number theories to explore. Like here, if your kiddo has taken Algebra 1 already, they might notice that this is 20 minus 2. I'm right, by the way, do not write this on your contest. I'm just showing you the cool trick, right? 20 plus 2. Oh, that's 20 squared minus 2 squared. Oh, that's 400 minus 4. So the answer better be 396. Now, when you're studying, go ahead and write the problems out. There it is, number 11, 396. Now let's get to this problem, which is the starred ones here. The starred problems, you are allowed to estimate. Although, honestly, let's look at this last one here. Let me make sure. No scratch work. So you would just write 396. You don't write everything I just had there, okay? If you do that, if you have scratch work anywhere on your test, like you just start doing problems, that's almost always an automatic disqualification. Now let's go to this fun problem here. So you have 99 2023s plus an extra. In my head, I think you can solve this one pretty exactly almost. Plus, I would change this problem to 2023 plus 1, right? So that means you have 100 2023s. So you would just add 0, 0 to 2023 and then add 1. So I think you can get it exactly right. That's an unusual one where you could actually get. And so the way this is, I'm pretty sure that's exactly the right answer. Here, let's Google it. Let me get I wonder if I can copy it. Can I copy it? Let's see. And Google it? I don't know. Because I did do that in my head. So, so it's this times. Yeah, 2023-01. I was right. Okay, that's always comforting. But what you're going to see on the key, so this is number 10. So when I go to the key, that's really funny, that estimation problem. Any answer from 192,186 to 212,416 is allowed. Now, another thing on notation, you are allowed little commas right there. I don't know why they allow commas, but they don't allow leading zero. So see here, this one has no 0. So if you had 0.475, let me type that down, 0.4375, sadly, that would be marked wrong. And as a math teacher, I'm like, because we always put those leading zeros for readability. So that's a habit you have to break. And I think it's very sad. I'm still trying to get a petition going. All right. So anyways, do not worry that if you make it over here, that's amazing. All right. When the timer stops, so you notice that it's a 10-minute test. So when the timer goes off, your pencil goes down and you just like pick up your hands. If you've ever watched like Chopped or a cooking show where the chefs pick up their hands, that's probably a good thing to do. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to number sense, and the best way to prepare and start your path to discovery in mathematics is to get these packets that are for free, and I did include links on the invitational information. Just start working through them. And also, wait, there's more. The UIL website does have this book called Developing Middle School Number Sense Skills by Donald P. Scout. I think this was actually available maybe when I was in high school. I did do this contest myself. You can ignore the parts about coaching because it's written in general for everybody. But let's go see the topics here. It's actually a small book, so if you did it like a booklet thing. There's a sequence to the contest, so let me just talk about that very quickly. So depending on your grade level will depend on the sequence. And so problems 1 through 20, here is what kind of problems you're going to have. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of whole numbers, fractions, and decimals. All right? And order of operations is another thing. So here he talks about, here's some example problems that you're going to see in that first sequence. Use of the distributive property. So kind of like I told you here, look, you've got 6 15s and you got 14 15s. That means you have 20 15s. So the good news is that as you go through this will have some ideas on what you can do for this different sequence of problems. Honestly, if you just focus on the first 20 problems, if you're brand new to this, you can do really well, all right? And there's problems 21 through 40, and that's it. So you have this wonderful resource that is freely available that you can use to study, and you have the practice contest. I included a link, and they have contests back several years. And don't skip the elementary just because it says elementary. This is, if you're just totally brand new, maybe you work through these for a little bit before you start working through the middle school. Well, with that, good luck on your number sense contest.